Hello, everyone. Today I'll be interviewing Chold, a very well-known YouTuber. I'm kidding. He's the same size as me. But Chold, how about you introduce yourself and what you do?
Hi, I go by Chold on YouTube and I make videos that are more like commentary. Um, I don't know what else to say. I just make videos. I'm a just random guy on the internet that makes videos.
Cool, cool.
So,
And my question to you is like, what do you care about, right? Because I know we've talked a little bit off stream where you have a job. You actually have a job. You're not jobless like myself or everyone else watching. You do YouTube part time and you're quite successful at it, or at least mildly successful. So, what are your intentions? What are your goals with life?
um, I guess my goal in life is to, in terms of YouTube or like social media, probably reach a good amount of success. Not anything like crazy. Um, Not like Jason the Ween status level. Probably a little bit in the you can make a living off it if I really wanted to. But right now, I guess I'm not like fully diving into it because I don't know. Like part of me has a bit of hesitation. I don't really have that mindset that I notice like other creators have. So I kind of like do it on the side. I have a passion for it, but I'm like kind of worried to make it a full-time job
Yeah,
because I don't know. A lot could happen. A lot could happen, and I would feel like the pressure of making videos would turn to a job, and I'm not
right.
trying to have it like that at the moment.
So
Like
I'm
it might
assuming
change in the
there's
future.
there's like a little bit of stigma in how you create your content. There's like you have like a routine and you don't really want to touch it. It's like a gambler's type of mindset. You know what I'm talking about, or is it too vague?
Uh, a little bit like what I'm doing is fine,
No, no,
and I
like
don't want to change it.
no, like yeah, sure, that's or like a gambler, right? Like a gambler steps, he's walking on a crack and then he wins as okay. Every single time I go gamble, I must step on a crack before I do that. And it seems like it's the same type of psychology. Maybe it's a thing you have in everyday life where with YouTube, it's not just I don't want to go too hard on it or else X, Y, and Z might happen. So that's why I'm going to leave it in this way that I have done so far. I found success. Is that something specifically towards YouTube or is it something you notice in everyday life?
Wait, wait, wait. But let me turn off my camera real quick. Let me adjust the lighting. There's like a big backlight in the back.
Go ahead, bro. All right, guys. Oh shit, I accidentally left the call. Oh wait, no, okay. Here we go. All right, guys, I muted myself. What do you guys think so far? Huh? What do you guys think so far? I think that was a really good question. I actually really like that he cares about the camera quality because I will be re-uploading this on YouTube. So that's the game. Yo, Rambo, I'm trying to get into vids like yours. Start making videos, bro. Start making videos. Is bro also pantsless?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not
all
gonna
right, I'm
ask you
back.
that. It looks exactly the same.
Really? Okay. Well,
It's all good.
there's something I actually caught. Last time we called, you were talking about how like, oh, you were gonna be successful regardless on YouTube. You know, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
You made it like a statement like that, and I was like thinking in my head like, damn, I kind of don't really have that like other creators. I'm more like I do have passion for it, I would say, but it's just not like maybe it's like an Asian mindset telling me like
Okay.
that I shouldn't or something. I
Right.
don't really know, but I do still want to like push out videos like every week. I
Yeah.
aim for that. If I don't, maybe semi-weekly, but yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Chol, there's like many things I do want to talk about because we are the same size. And I remember watching one of your videos where you showed like the monthly revenue, right? It was like $100. And honestly, it's like actually kind of crazy because I'll tell everyone my monthly revenue right now. It's $800. I was like, whoa, that's like a big difference. So I'm like, I get, the only reason why I mentioned that is because let's say you make a lot more money. Would that change your mind? Or is it something like a mental block in your head?
It would have to be a lot more. I just noticed
Of course.
YouTube is more inconsistent, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've dived into like more of the sponsorships and other ways to make revenue, but just like
Yeah.
generally, I have not seen it come in, and especially with ad revenue, that means you have to average maybe like 100K per video if you upload weekly for you to maybe make like 60K a year or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, 100%. By the way,
Like
do
to
you
make a
live?
livable income.
Yeah. Do you live by yourself or do you live with family?
Nah, I live with parents. Do you?
Nice. Oh, I asked you this already. Yes, I live with parents as well, as as you can tell, right? I mean, this is a pretty nice place that I'm at right now. Yeah, and by the way, Troll, before you turn off the camera to fix everything, I wanted to ask you about like stigmas. Are you someone who has a lot of stigmas in their life? Like maybe you have traits of OCD. I have to run right there or else I'll explode and die. I have to do this before I do that. Is that a line of thinking that you have?
Not generally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wait, what about with you? Where do you see yourself when it comes to like social media or content creation?
Good question.
How do you view it?
Yeah, to me, it's not even like social media specifically. I try not to leave any doubt in my head, right? It's good to always like, at least initially, view what the worst possible outcome is going to be and accept it. So like when I get out in a car, I don't think about it anymore. But when I first started driving, I accepted the idea that I can drive perfectly and some dick can just kill me, right? And like, okay, done. I'm moving forward. I can start YouTube right now and I could fail miserably. Okay, move on. And how I view things and what persists in my mind is more of the idea that I will succeed in what I want to succeed in, right? So I had a conversation with another person in my last interview, and we talked about greed. He didn't want to be greedy with social media. He was like, okay, I want to be successful, but I don't want too much because I know that it's going to take over my life and it's going to be a sin and it's a very bad thing. He was Christian. And to me, how I view it, I think it's important to be selfish. I think it's important to be greedy, but it has a very negative connotation in the world. People don't like greedy people. People don't like selfish people because it fucks their life up. When you're greedy, when you're selfish, you put other people down. But in a childlike sense, a kid goes to a store and he just wants the toy. He doesn't want the toy to flex and brag. He doesn't want the toy because it's so expensive. He just wants it because he's a kid. He wants to play with it. And that's how I view my wants and desires. I don't want to be successful to flex and brag onto a lot of people. I don't want to have a lot of money to like make people feel inferior or put other people down. It's something that I just want to play with, to live a life with, to make my life better, if that makes sense. And that's how I view YouTube and other things where with what you said with success and like how I view YouTube, I view it in every aspect. Like, let's say school, I go to a class, I'm gonna get an A, right? Just like,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's people who's like, I'm gonna get an F, and obviously they'll get the F and I get the A. Does that make sense?
Kind of like a mindset thing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And here's the thing: it's completely fine if I don't get what I want. By the way, Trolled, you have been working on a video recently about Gen Z and dating. Last time we talked, how's that video going along?
I finished the video. I sent it to my editor, and since he is kind of like working too, he might not be able to finish the full thing. So I told him, just send it by September 17th. Whatever you have, I'm gonna like finish it and hopefully upload it Saturday. I believe that's September 20th. So yeah, I also have another recording. It's gonna be talking about like the Oxford study.
Oh, okay.
That one's a more shorter video. I'm gonna edit that video while like my editor's editing the second video. So it's just two videos I have prepared.
What do you think about? So if you guys don't know the Oxford study, take it away, Trolled.
Yeah, it's a term on the internet when an Asian girl typically dates or prefers like a white man, and stereotypically it will be a very, very attractive Asian girl versus with like a very mediocre looking white dude.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the Asian community is very upset about it.
How do you feel about it?
When the video comes out, I'll speak about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, sure. I wouldn't want you to gatekeep, but that's completely fine. The only reason why I ask is because I usually have like a different outlook compared to a lot of people. And when people mention the whole Oxford study, they mentioned the idea that in Asian culture, or at least Western, when you're brought up, not even Western, if you look at China or Korea, a big beauty standard is looking as pale as possible. They're trying to imitate being white. And that could be a reason why they find white men very attractive. It's not even how good looking they are, it's just purely on race. And then there's a lot of Asian men who fucking hate this. It's like, what the fuck? They're taking my woman. And to be honest, I think every party is a loser. The people who are upset over it, I think the Asian woman, the white people, I think everyone a part of it who even interacts with the whole community is a loser. Now, it's completely different for us because we're doing it for views, right? But I'm very curious what you think about it.
Yeah, I actually think it was like, I don't think it has to do with pale skin. It more has to do with like not the white guy being attractive. It's more like Asians aren't attractive because compared to the Western world, like you're more shorter, you're more smaller, you're more seen as like that small eyes guy that's nerdy, doesn't really have any social skills when it comes to like Western media. So that kind of gets ingrained to maybe the Western culture, and I guess Asian girls or like Asian American girls watch stuff like that. They don't really see a sexy Asian guy. They see like a sexy white guy on the screen. So
Right.
that might like turn their attraction towards something like that and steer away towards like someone that looks more Asian.
Chol,
But
oh, go ahead.
yeah, things changed over the years though. Like there's like hella K-pop stuff like that I feel like boosts Asians up a little bit, and it's slowly changing. There's still that like stigmatism, but like where I live anyway, it's like more Asians around, so I don't really feel that high pressure compared to others.
Right. So my question was going to be, do you or your friends like struggle with getting girls?
Oh, to be honest,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but I don't know what's with them. I think my friends are like relatively handsome. They could definitely pull.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know why they don't.
Right.
I feel like they're more good looking than me, and I had like totally fine history with like getting someone or asking
Right.
someone out. So
Do they
yeah.
try? Like, do they try talking? Because I have a friend. He goes to a. I'm actually gonna talk to him next. I don't know if he's comfortable with it, but he goes to a very prestigious school, right? A lot of baddies there is what the kids would say, and he struggles. Like he struggles a lot, and like he puts in the effort, but I notice a lot of people don't even try. If that makes sense. Like, do your friends try, or
Nah, they're like, damn, she's so bad, and then nothing else. It's just like only talking about it, but never actually doing anything.
right? And how do you feel about that? Because you see your friends, you want them to be better, but they're actively not. If that makes sense.
To be honest, I think like our age being like early 20s, I think they kind of need to get some experience because
100%.
I feel like I guess in high school I was thinking like, oh yeah, I want my first one to be the one, but like realistically for most of us, like we are gonna get fucked over in some way. You know, maybe you're gonna fuck up. You're like not mature enough, and I think you have to get like at least try it out and realize, you know, maybe you like this in a relationship, maybe you like someone like less clean, whatever, but you get to know yourself more when you like experience like being with someone. And um yeah, I think if you delay that longer, it just makes it harder for you to get in a relationship because you're not going to be like ready.
100% agree. I 100% agree. I remember back in middle school, right? It was me and this fucking kid that looked just like me. And I would get always insulted. Everyone would say, "You look just like this guy." I said, "No, he looks like me." Anyway, completely irrelevant. I was talking to him and I was talking about girls with this guy. And I was like, "Yo, bro, why don't you try to get girls?" And he said the same thing that a lot of people are hopeful for, which is always good. You want to find the perfect one. You only need one, which is very great. And we're not trying to be pessimistic, we're not trying to be doomers or anything, but realistically, it's very difficult to navigate relationships in general. People don't have good relationships with their friends, people bully, they have bad relationships with their family, their parents, their siblings, but there's this assumption that because I'll get into a relationship with this person I will love. Everything will happen magically. And I was talking to him and he said the same thing where it'll just happen naturally. But I think it's a skill. I think the skill you could develop with that one person, but most likely a lot of people grow from their first relationship. That's how I see it, if that makes sense. And by the way,
Yeah,
Troll,
yeah, I agree.
what made you come to that conclusion? Was it like real life circumstances, people you see?
Yeah, I won't be go too much in detail,
Yeah,
but like
of
the
course.
first one, a lot of bad shit happened. But I was I think I had that mindset where I was like I really wanted them to be the one. And I kept like pushing for it. It's like even if they would do bad stuff, like I would kind of push for it for us to stay together, and then eventually things didn't work out and I was like very hurt, and I had to kind of grow out of that mindset. Like, I can't just be like simping over one person the rest of my life. Like, you got to move on. And obviously, that person isn't that great anyway.
Right.
So it just kind of puts that first person on a pedestal, and it's such a high standard if you have that like sort of thought.
Right.
And I think it's totally fine to have. It's just like the high school love. Like, you just have a different mentality once it's your first one, I think, compared to like the next ones you go, because you're more realistic, but at the same time you're more better and you know what to do in a relationship.
100%. People are fucking amateurs when it's their first time, and completely irrelevant. But just like a little bit of advice or how I see it with other people. There's many ways to interpret it, but whenever you put anyone on a pedestal, it never works out. There's a lot of ways to go deep into it, but I'm not going to do that because someone in the chat named Queso says, "I'm scared of the huzz. What if she says no?" Chold, have you ever cold approached anyone? You cold DM'd anyone by chance? Or put yourself in a position where you could get rejected?
Not DM, but there was one time there's a Phil's girl. Like, I don't know why every girl that works at Phil's Coffee is either like average or like very attractive. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I've never seen like
zero
ugly,
below.
ugly
Zero
Phil's
below.
girl. Yeah, but I saw one, and I was working at a restaurant at that time, so I had their uniform. I got off shift. I went to Phil's Coffee to get like a gift card and whatnot. The person at the cash register was very pretty. And then we talked for a bit, and then I was with my friend too. But we talked for a bit, and then we just kind of like left. And then I was gonna be like, oh, next shift, if I see her, like, I'll ask
Oh
her out.
yeah.
And then when I went there, she recognized me, which is good. But after I got my drink, I was kind of like, oh, by the way, can I get your Instagram? And then she was like, oh, I don't really have Instagram. That's where I fucked up. That's where the first
Okay.
thing I fucked up.
Okay.
Because that seems like a no. And
Right.
then I kind of proceeded to ask, like, oh, okay, how about your number instead? And then she was like, oh, I have a boyfriend. Who knows if she did or not?
Right.
But yeah, the fact that if she said she didn't have an Instagram, I probably shouldn't have asked again.
Right.
And the second time, it was at my school. There was like a girl I saw, I guess, at the bus, and then I was talking her up for a bit, and then I asked for Instagram. And this time she said again, oh, I don't really have an Instagram. But she said, I'll give you my number instead.
Oh!
So that wasn't me pushing.
Yeah.
She gave me that, and then yeah, I got her number. Oh, it was a very weird situation. I got her number, and then I kind of searched her name up on Instagram.
Right.
And it turns out she did have one, and she did have a boyfriend. So, I texted her for a bit, and that was actually her. Like, it wasn't like a fake number or anything, but
Yeah.
like things didn't go from there. But I was just like, damn.
Yeah. Holy fuck. So, you know what? Because this conversation is about girls. I was scrolling on TikTok literally today, and there was some Asian looks maxer. He's very autistic, and he had a very similar story where he matched with this girl on a dating app, and pretty much the date was the girl's all bummy, pulls up, and he's just like, oh, she says, you want to go to my place? He knows that the girl has a boyfriend, and I was looking through the comments, and people were like, why'd you sleep with her if you knew she had a boyfriend? And in his comments, he said, like it's tough. It's tough out there, or game is game, or like someone else is gonna do it, right? And respectfully, I think that's some pussy shit. Honestly, right? It's just so it's like the idea of integrity, right? It's like if you
Yeah.
know what you're doing is bad and you're still choosing to do it. At least to me, how I perceive that person is very desperate, and I think this expands into a larger topic of just reading people, right? So I made a video about like some fat guy on TikTok, and I just predicted him being a bad person. I got a lot of hate for it, and then a few months later, he was a bad person. He was like talking to minors. He was like sending out fake cease and desist. It was like this big
I
ordeal.
think I seen that video.
Yeah, yeah. It was a very
Are
big.
you gonna touch more on that?
No, it was just more of like oh, look at that. It was a I told you so moment. I just mentioned it.
Oh,
Got a lot of views, but it was just more of like reading people, and yeah, I mean, it was completely out of nowhere. But it's actually very interesting that you're willing to put yourself out there, because I know there's a lot of guys that do get a lot of girls, but they don't cold approach at all. Is there a reason? Did you mentally or intentionally went out of your way to talk to them, or
Usually-
was just in the moment?
I'm not sure if it's maybe it's the environment because it's not like a full cold approach because I wouldn't
Yeah.
just go to a random girl on the street.
Yeah.
The first one, there was a relation or we had a conversation because we worked at places nearby.
Yeah.
So that was a reason for me to talk to her, and that's why I asked her the second time because
Yeah.
there was a little bit of something there. And the second one, it was at my school, so that kind of has a conversation to be opened. It's not
Right.
like I just find someone on the street. There was a little bit there, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so everyone who's watching, I'm gonna be a little autistic. I'll give you guys like the framework and play by play. So here's the thing with a lot of guys. You interrupt me if you think I'm wrong at all, Chold, or you agree. But a lot of people
Okay.
or men don't know when a girl likes them, and they're always trying to enter their area, their circle, just by being friends. That's how many people get into the friend zone. They're only friendly, but they find the person attractive, and they're not capable or have the courage to actually express they find the other person attractive. So they're stuck in this fucking limbo. The guy never expresses what he actually wants, so he's just trying to read their body language. Sometimes they get lucky and say, oh, she fucking likes me. Shoots a shot, completely misses because he's confused. The girl thinks they're just friends. Easy shot to make. All right, everyone. You don't say you like their face. You don't say you like their tits or their outfit, because outfit is a little bit much more personality based, so it's much more friendly. I like your outfit, girl. Yeah, I could say that, right? And same thing with physical. It's a bit too aggressive for my liking. Go-to phrase for everyone. First introduction, just say you like their eyebrows. I like your eyebrows. Did you recently get it done? They'll say some whatever bullshit, right? I've spammed that. Obviously, I'm in a relationship right now, so this is an old person game. But I would spam that. They would say, oh, I did. How'd you know? Oh, I didn't, blah, blah, blah. And then boom. It sets the standard that you find the person attractive. And then you riz them up, you do your thing, and you know that there's a whole process to it, but like that's a good introduction and starter if people are curious. Well, and by the way, what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I never thought of complimenting someone's eyebrows. It is usually like outfit or something, or eyes or something.
Yeah,
Eyebrows
yeah.
are so specific. I thought mainly girls notice that. Guys don't really compliment girls' eyebrows like that.
Yeah, that's
I don't really
the
notice
point,
that.
right? Because there's like
I guess it's unique.
it's not even like the idea of standing out. I know a lot of friends or like people who are very autistic with it, where I need to be different. I need to be different. So my idea of being different, I'll just go crazy. I'll just like say crazy shit, and that will leave an impression in their own head. That's fine, but you don't need to purposely be different. Be yourself, right? Like it's bullshit, but fundamentally, everyone is already different. Like just go to like all of us is different, but the eyebrows is a great starter because it's not just based on personality. Oh, I really like your jokes. That's some friend stuff. It's very personality based, and there's like physical based. Too physical could be like complete miss, right? But it's like a slow infection of the mind where you confuse them as well. You try to put them in the guy's position. Most guys, they like, does this girl like me or does she not like me? And then the idea of like, okay, maybe I could date this person. Maybe I like the vision is in their head, and then you jump. That's game. this is what I had to learn because if people don't know, back in the day, I made a video a long time ago, like 3 years ago, where I did like a cold approaching video. It's some crazy shit back then. But it wasn't cold approaching, it was like rejection therapy. And then final day was like a challenge.
What was your ratio, or like
Yeah.
your the
Yeah.
shots you made?
Yeah, it was. I think it was like 4 or 5 girls I talked to. One of them, actually no, I think all of them gave me their number or Instagram. No, actually only number. I didn't go for Instagram. And one of them was underage, so I was like, okay, so like that was a miss.
Oh.
By the way, she was taller than me, so I was like, okay, yo, that bitch is tall as fuck.
Wait. She gave you, and then she was like, "Oh, by the way."
No. I talked to her and I just want to make sure like your age and shit. And then she was like, "I'm X, Y, and Z." I forgot, but I was like, "What the fuck? You're like what?" Okay, and I just left immediately. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I did it with my friend as well, and he was much more nervous. He was much more nervous to say the least, and because he was nervous, he was like all clammy and cramped. I don't know. I don't think I think he got like one Instagram or something.
Out of how many?
I don't know. Maybe same number as me. I think same amount as me. But you know, it's like he's a good looking guy. He's taller than me. He's like 6'2" or whatever. But you know, it's just unlucky for him, I'd say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Were they in where was the location at?
I don't remember. I don't want to leak myself, but it's in the Bay Area. There was like some pop up where it was like a bunch of vendors selling vintage clothing. So I saw people. I talked to this one girl. She was like from Stanford. I was like, what the fuck? And this is, by the way, I was really dumb back then. I didn't know Stanford was very close to like where I was. I was like, oh, okay. But oh, I mean, technically, because she was from Stanford, I was like, oh, never mind. I don't want your number because I thought that was too far to like make anything work. And I realized Stanford was really close. I was like, oh. Anyways, it's like 3 years ago, long time. Have a girlfriend now, so I don't really care. But that's just my story and experience. A lot of people don't have to be extremely aggressive or extremely passive. There's a good in between, and there's a good in between to be yourself. That's how I view it, at least. Yeah.
Oh yeah. With that being said, do you think guys and girls could be friends?
No. I mean, here's the thing.
What's the reasoning?
Realistically, Trolled, I'll be honest. I'd love to hear your opinion, but I don't put a lot of thoughts into things unless it's important to me, right? So like, the whole girl guy being friends thing, I haven't thought about it in a very long time. I just really haven't thought about it just because it doesn't really affect my life. I'm just inside all the time, working and walking. So I don't really think about it at all. I definitely, realistically, all right, Trolled, I don't know about you. I can never have a real good conversation with a girl. I'll be honest. It's never.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you tell me. You like talking to girls in a platonic way?
Honestly, like, yeah. I don't really have that anymore, but that's kind of like my own choice. But when I did, I feel like it was.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It was good.
What were the conversations about? I'm actually curious because like me,
I mean,
not at all.
I think when it comes to like more emotional stuff or more stuff that you want to get more deep into, they're more like talking to girls in general kind of help with getting your feelings out. Guys
Really?
are
Yeah.
like, I don't know, guys are more like fun and cool to be around. I could talk to them about that stuff too, but I can't imagine like talking about very serious stuff and like crying in front of them type of thing. Like
Yeah.
I mean I had close girlfriends, but
Yeah.
when that happens, like if something serious going on, like I feel like I could do that. It's just a weird vibe, but at the end of the day, I still don't think guys and girls could be friends.
Yeah.
Like I still stand by your side, but like having a girl as a friend is nice.
Yes. So okay. So there's a lot. Like a big reason why I don't think guys and girls can be friends is because how I view girls is that there's no reason why I would want to be friends. One of my Patreon members got into their dream school as an engineering major because they utilized the $5 one-on-ones from the Patreon. I'm upping it to 15 because I would check it out before I up it to my real rate where I did work professionally, which was $250 an hour. Thank you, goodbye. Right? So in the context of like male things or things that I like to do, I like to read self-improvement books. I know there are a lot of girls that do read self-improvement books, but the majority is male. So it cuts off like conversations I could have. Let's say I want to play a competitive video game. Statistically, better reaction time, more men play video games, more men does sport and is better at sports, or more men are interested in business. So all the conversations that I would enjoy is immediately cut out. And with what you said, with like emotions, women are great at emotions. They're great at being emotional, but I don't think, at least for me, it's something beneficial to sit in. And like how I see it, right? I think being emotional is great. I think it's important to like not restrict your emotions, but at the same time, a lot of people find pleasure in being sad. So it's a weird thing to say, but a lot of people feel justified. They have a good excuse. So everything that someone does emotions wise, there's a reason behind it. So I read this in a book, simple idea. You're at a coffee shop, someone spills coffee on you, okay? Oh fuck, my fucking favorite white shirt. Now, what's your reaction in your head, right? What's your reaction? There's many ways you could go about it. Just like, oh, all good, man, all cool. Or you could stand up, make a loud scene. It's like, you fucking piece of shit. You're paying for this is my favorite shirt. You can also cry. There's a lot of things you can react. And people make the assumption the emotion just comes up out of nowhere. But in your mind, there's that split second decision on making and choosing that emotion. Let's say someone chooses to be mad. Why do they choose to be mad? It could be led to a lot of other times where something similar has happened and they want a certain outcome. They want respect. They want someone to pay for their shirt. And they've always reacted with being angry. So if I act angry in this coffee situation, I will get what I want. That's how I view it. And I think being emotional in general for an extended period of time is not very beneficial for me because I can just sit in the sadness, I can sit in the anger, I can feel good about it, but it doesn't really solve anything. And I could be seen a little crazy by saying that, but what do you think, Scholl?
Yeah, I agree. Like sulking in your emotions isn't really gonna help. Uh, I guess it really depends though, because you still have to address it when you need to at times. If it's you don't want to hold it in too much and you don't want to sit in it too much,
Right.
and it's kind of a good option if you have someone there to kind of be able to express those feelings out.
Yeah. Could you talk to me about it, like specifically? Because I have a few moments, but I'm interviewing you. I'd love to hear your opinions about that.
She
It doesn't have to be about you, by the way. It could be like about
it's
other
it's
people.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll say it about myself, but it's a very it's a very bad look on me. But I feel like
Okay.
what if you are going through a heartbreak, like having someone there, like I think for me, like heartbreak is like one of the most the time where I'm like the most emotionally like hurt, and it's good to have a girl that's there to kind of like let
Console
your
you.
feelings out when you need
Yeah.
to, as a friend, as a friend. So maybe she should be chopped or something. Maybe you should find her not attractive. But
Yeah.
but
Actually, I take it, but you're right. I finish up, but yeah, keep on going.
yeah, that is the time where like I feel like damn, though, like having someone there like really helps.
100%.
So
I think. So we're talking about like female friendship and how it's valuable because they're great at like making us feel comfortable with ourselves, and there is no of the toxic masculinity and
yeah,
right. And if
there's
she's
still girls that are like,
yeah, go ahead.
you know, there's still girls that act like guys or like more tomboys. So
Yeah. So like, I actually take it back. I definitely can be friends with the girls if they are chopped as fuck and they have like masculine attributes. So pretty much a guy. That I could definitely be friends with a girl that looks like a guy and acts like a guy. That's so stupid. But yeah, no, I definitely see your point. At least for me, maybe because I am a little bit more lucky in terms of like how like the information and the algorithms that popped up on my screen. I haven't had a moment in a very long time where I've had like strong emotional distress, if that makes sense. Where I mean like breakups are bad, but you know, I kind of move on. Not in a way where it's like psychopathic. So like for example, I've been reading this book called Reality Transurfing, and it pretty much talks about the idea of importance, right? That's why I'm so big on like the emotions part where I don't sit in it for too long because you're giving so much importance. You're giving, for example, depression, all this power. Depression exists, but it doesn't exist as much as you let it exist. So like people think about, I'm very depressed. And then they start thinking about depression is the reason why I'm not going to the gym. And then depression is the reason why it's making me do this, this, and that. It's all true. It is making you do that, but you're choosing to let it do that to you. And I think the same thing applies to like sitting in emotions. That's why I don't really have female friends, because I don't need to sit in my emotions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's also kind of like you just shouldn't have it because I think there are a lot of people that are like not really faithful, and
Right.
if you're in a like a relationship, you just probably shouldn't have it. It's just like a bad. There's too much potential and statistics for things to fall apart
Right. Yeah.
if you have that around.
Yeah. And by the way, what do you think about statistics as a whole? Like you see statistics, do you believe in them? Do you believe you're going to be the outlier? How do you interpret statistics?
I kind of think like I'm the outlier when it comes to like me having girls as friends, but
Right.
but like that's kind of fucked up, and I'm totally fine. Where I feel like if I'm in a relationship and I have a girlfriend and they're uncomfortable with me having girls as friends, that should be a sacrifice I should make if I'm with them. And it's just there are like I might not be doing it, but there are statistics that kind of show that happening. So, or there are a
Right.
bunch of instances like I'm pretty sure a bunch of people or a couple of people had been cheated on, whatnot, or had very like maybe not cheated on, but like at least pretty unfaithful things happened
Yeah.
or questionable things. It's just too much room for a lot of things to go on, and I feel like that's like kind of like a sacrifice
Yeah.
or just a respectful thing to do. I wouldn't even call it sacrifice. It's just something you should do if you're in a relationship.
You know what's funny? I think, believe it or not, Joel, I think we're thinking of completely different things. Like, okay, so when I was talking, I about being friends with the girls, the reason why I'm not friends with the girls is just because I don't find them like worthwhile to talk to, right? If that makes sense, because there's not a lot of example. We do YouTube. We're in the exact same niche, pretty much, where it's like semi commentary, semi self improvement. I don't know one female that's in this niche, right? So it's very difficult to be friends with the girls that I'm interested in. But I think when you asked your question, was it about the idea of
Oh,
with cheating, right?
yeah, I was thinking in like, if you're friends with them, you're gonna see more than just platonic.
Yeah. No, so that's true as well. So I bet people are tired about this. Or at least I'm already tired about it. But I keep on mentioning cruises because I had a good time. But on the cruise, there's a love dating show, right? And they bring up an audience, only married people, by the way. So it's newlywed couple, and then medium tier couple, and then super old couple that's been married for 40 years. And they bring all of them up. And they ask very provocative questions. What's the craziest place you've had sex at? And if your partner died, or if they never existed, who would you rather have sex and date and marry with, right? And it's like this big fun thing where everyone's laughing. They're being very vulnerable. And every single one of them about the who would you rather fuck or date, it's always their friend. It's always their
What?
friend. It's always every single one of them. Because like you wouldn't have
Oh
sex.
shit!
Yeah, dude. You wouldn't have sex with a random person. And you know what's very funny? When I was there, the old couple, right? There's this old guy. He's like, oh yeah, Joanne, the neighbor. And the second time, right? They wrap around in a circle where it's time to ask the grandma or the old lady. Okay, so this is the question we asked. Who would you rather sleep with? Like, what are your guesses? And she's right on the money. She's like, oh, Joanne, that fucking bitch. So it was
Damn.
hella funny. Yeah, it was a good time to say the least.
I thought it would be like a celebrity or something. Saying like name dropping
Yeah.
someone that's in their life is kind of crazy. Like if I was in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, you're gonna stop talking to them right now.
Bro,
after
you know,
this.
I'm not even kidding. I tried to like put myself out there, and by the way, very nervous about it. But I was like, oh babe, let's do it. Like, let's raise your hand. Luckily, it was only married people. So yeah, very
Could lie.
yeah, you could. But here's the thing: every single one of them were like so honest, so real, and they were so vulnerable. I don't even know how people could do that. They were on the stage. They're talking about like, okay, so pick a song that you like the most, and songs like "The Guy Lasts Too Short," Or like the sex is amazing, right? Some people are very socially aware where they say, oh yeah, we have good sex. Boom, that's the song. And some people would just be vulnerable. They'll be real. They'll talk about 15 seconds to Mars or whatever. They'll also mention random stuff like weird places they've had sex at and threesomes and stuff. It's an adult show. So, by the way, Chol, what did you do today?
Um, this was more of a slow day. All I did was I woke up at like 10. I scrolled on my phone.
Nice.
I got out. I ate food. I edited a video, the Oxford study video till like 3 minutes, and then like I visited my grandparents, and I'm back here.
Nice.
Not a lot. What about you?
Yeah, my lifestyle is like pretty similar. I woke up, take a shit, get out of bed. I'm kidding. Wake up, take a shit, and then I went to the gym. Afterwards, I went home. I think I cooked up some food, walked on the treadmill. Because I just recently finished a video, I always give myself, like, today's the day where I just give myself time to think. I don't put a lot of pressure into it. Went upstairs. I got good ideas, got good thumbnails. So done with that. No pressure in anything. And here I am live streaming. It's more of, at least for me, you tell me about how you view things. I have a cousin, right? I'm very fortunate to have people who are already successful, so I can see where I want to be. And he's very close in proximity. I'm 21, he's 23, and he's like millionaire at this age, or my age.
Shit.
I know. And with him, he doesn't do shit, man. That motherfucker does nothing. And it really put into perspective where I was always taught, I don't know who, I don't know where, maybe the world, but I was always taught to work hard. Right? But we already know the story of like McDonald's worker that works really hard versus someone who does nothing and makes way more. But for a lot of people, it's hard to put into perspective what it actually is. And with my cousin, I'll give a little bit more context. I came over to his apartment for the cruise. He just like let me crash. And in that moment, he did nothing, right? So he obviously did to like try to be a good guest. I'll tell you his routine. He wakes up, he's like, yo, Rambo, you want to go to the beach? He walks on the beach for like 2-3 hours, right? So he lives in a very expensive apartment too. I think it's around like $4 or $5 grand a month by himself, by the way. And what else does he do after he finishes walking? He goes home, he showers, then he goes out to eat, and then he goes home. I think he goes to the gym afterwards. And then after the gym, he goes out to eat again. And then he ends the night off with smoking weed. Because he set up a system where everything is done for him. And he's gone on vacation, a month-long vacation, everywhere in China. So he went to like Japan, Korea, Vietnam. And it was like, oh, it was so much fun, Rambo. We should definitely do it together. I was like, I got you. I'm like, yes, please, let's go on that vacation. But with him, obviously he's had a brief moment in his life where he's worked really hard. But now he's much more into thinking, right? Where most of the money made is purely thinking. So for example, people like Warren Buffett, he doesn't break his bone working 24/7. He barely works, but he has moments where he just thinks, and that's where all the money actually comes from. Now, obviously, I'm not even close to that level. I have very busy days. Like yesterday, I was just working the entire day. But today, I try to give myself time to like tap into what I can and will be in the future, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think there was any way to like have that sort of lifestyle unless you have like money on you already.
No,
Like
dude,
where it's so passive where you do nothing.
dude.
I get investments, but I would imagine like that's almost like the only thing.
No, dude, I'm like, he dropped out of college. He was 19 years old. He was in community. He never got good grades. And I remember he told me he dropped out. I was like, you dumbass, why the fuck do you drop out, right? But that's what everyone's thinking. That's what everyone says to us as well. At least for me, where it's like, don't do YouTube. It's kind of a waste of a time. You could invest it in doing other things. People will always say something. I'm those people as well. And he just believed in himself and he made it work. He worked very hard. He was very smart. He was constantly seeking knowledge. He's always reading books, listening to audiobooks. And that's it, right? And another thing, he's a very mellow guy, right? I'm very loud, sometimes jumpy. He's not that at all. So he's very like slow, very deep voice. Yeah. So I try not to work too much. Try not to push myself. That's what I've realized. What about you, Joel?
Uh, I think at the time of my life when I was in college, I kind of worked the hardest I've been. I was like taking more than normal classes than an average
Oh,
student,
you
and I
wanted
was
to
working
graduate
super
early?
loud. I did graduate early,
Oh, nice.
but I was working like 30 hours a week too, and I was like prime in the way that like I had the most gym gains.
Yes.
But I think that was I was low key the most depressed because
Right.
I didn't really make videos, or I did make videos, but I wasn't doing it that heavily now. And then it was really weird because I think I kind of wasted opportunity because I got a guaranteed
Right.
at the time when I worked those jobs, I get a guaranteed minimum wage, right?
Nice.
But who knows? Let's say I put 30 hours a week and like forced it onto making videos. We don't know what that could have been.
Right.
Like I could be sitting at like a million. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
that was like a good 2 years, maybe not 2 years, maybe like one and a half years of my time. And now I'm more laid back in the way where I feel like I will like spend money for videos. I'll prioritize videos even though I could be working like a job or an extra shift.
Right.
I do have a job now, but like
Yeah.
I would be in a different mindset where I'm just thinking, damn, I could take this new, like 6 hour shift, or I could work on a video. Back then, I would have been like, 6 hour shift, that's like $100 something. I might as well do that and then work on the video later. But now I'm like, I feel like I would rather work on a video than get like 120 from 6 hours of work or something.
And by the way, Joel, now that you have graduated from college, have you noticed like a big difference in the pendulum? The pendulum in the context of, I'm assuming you're someone who like cares about your success, your grades, so you're like working very hard. Have you noticed that once you dropped out, was there like, wow, it wasn't that important as I thought, or?
It's hard to tell. I feel like I'm on a weird. I would honestly think I'm on like maybe like the middle of it because I joined a club in my college, and then all of us graduated. One of my friends in that club got a job. He as a consultant.
Yeah.
His salary's like very. I'm not gonna say the full amount, but it's very very close to six figures.
Oh,
And
that's okay.
I feel like that degree kind of helped him get there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you were to pursue other things like content creation, like that degree is probably not necessary, and you could still find success off other things. It's kind of
Right.
like college will for sure, statistically, like you earn more money. But if you're gonna pursue something else that you know that you genuinely want to pursue, then I feel like college is kind of a waste of time. It really depends.
How do you
But
feel
but
about it?
on average, how do I feel?
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet, but I feel like part of me wants to put more focus on if I were to choose my career, like a job versus like making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I'm at the grace period where I feel like if I hop into forcing myself to find a job, I'm gonna be so busy, I'm not gonna have enough time to work on videos. Versus right now, I could work on videos for maybe like a year or two. If that doesn't work out, I could just say fuck it, go to the job thing. But if I
Yeah.
choose this first, I feel like I'm not gonna get the YouTube option. If I choose YouTube as an option, I can at least go to a job if that doesn't work out because of my degree.
Yeah. And I think that's like a problem a lot of people face where they feel like they're stuck at a crossroad where they have to decide. And I think a lot of people, instead of deciding or picking one, they pick the middle, which is I'm just going to scroll and let everything slowly resolve itself, which is neither results that they want. And so, speaking of which, because you're at that crossroad right now, do you think there's going to be a big decision, or do you think you're going to try to like handle both? Because I'll be honest, Scholt, I think you can do both. Like you said, I don't think I'll have time for YouTube and your career. I think you do, but the question again is like, are you leaning towards a decision or path that you want to take because you're right in the middle?
Um, fuck. That's really hard. I don't know. I feel like I'm more leaning towards making videos, but at the same time, if a job comes my way, like I'm like casually applying. If a job comes my way and it's really good, I'll probably take that too. Some compromise I'm trying to do is kind of like apply for like a career that's more related to like marketing and like making videos
Yeah.
rather than like sitting in an office all day typing up stuff. So yeah, I'm still kind of 50-50 on it, and I think it's kind of scary too when you make that decision. I guess the safer decision is to do like work in an actual office job, but it still kind of scares me to think, okay, let's say I dropped everything and I did YouTube and then like I flop.
Yeah.
Then like I feel like I'm gonna lose so much like motivation to even make videos. And I think I do like doing both because it gives me the idea of like, oh, it could still happen. It could still happen. But once I
Right.
actually do it and it doesn't happen, it's like, fuck.
Right.
Maybe I'll do it once I hit 100K. I don't know. But I have to see like a good amount of success before like, okay, let me try full time, you know?
You know what's funny? I was about to ask you, right? I was going to ask you like, do you need a sign? And before I could even ask that, you said like, I need 100K. And I think I think it's very interesting because I dropped out. I dropped out of college, right? And I used to be a big school guy. I was a college tutor, and then I went to like professional tutoring, and I was literally in like a position where, okay, I finished my 2 years in community. I chose actively not to go to like an Ivy League school. I chose not to go to like a UC school. I went to go to a state school, and that's like a big demotion. I was in the first semester, and I was just like I was crushing it, right? So
Wait. You
go
got
ahead.
accepted to like,
No, fuck no. I
like a
didn't
bunch of,
even, because here's the thing. Like back in high school, good grades, did 5 sports, shit ton of clubs, like generic Asian shit, right? And to me, deep down, I knew that's not what I wanted to do, right? Obviously, I was good at it because it's just a skill. It's a skill that I got good at. I got good at studying, so I obviously got good grades. And I was at that decision where I could have applied to it, but I didn't because I didn't want to admit defeat. Like if I applied to the UCs, to me in my head at that time, it would be like admittance that, okay, I don't believe in myself. So what I did in my own head was like try to split between the two, where it was going to be a mix of, okay, I'm going to go to community and then I'm going to work on YouTube part-time. And literally, I think for that 2 years during community, it was a complete, I mean, to me, I was completely persistent. I still am. But I guess looking back, it wasn't as successful. During those 2 years, I literally gained only 3,000 subscribers, right? And I went on, my cousin, the rich guy, he invited me out just like to hang out, I think for New Year's or something with him and like my other cousin. And we were talking, and he was reminiscing about like the time when he had to take a risk, which is like dropping out. And obviously, Asian family, controversial. He kept it a secret from everyone, and there was pretty much no sign. There's no sign of anything. He just felt like he should do it, so that's what he did. And in that moment, like at least to me, I had 3,000 subs, and I talked a lot about it, a lot of courage to like build up to make that decision. But I decided to drop out after the first semester, and then after. So right now, it's literally one semester ago. Right now is the fall semester, and during that time, I'm at 32K now. So it was like a good 10x is how I see it. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, making decisions is hard, but at least from that experience, like we mentioned earlier at the very beginning of the live stream, when you're driving, I expect the worst and I just move forward and just like let things ride. I don't know. I mean, I expected the worst. I'll drop out for 1 year. I fucking die. I become homeless. And it's okay. That's not that bad. No, I'm kidding. But I'm not gonna go homeless. I'm not going to die. I still have a roof under my head. I'll just be 1 year behind in college. So everything actually aligned. Everything actually made sense. So I decided to like drop out, and Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just pursuing YouTube for as long as I can. And if things don't go well, which I don't even like talking about it or putting it in my mind or manifesting it, but if things don't go well, it's completely fine. I have a killer resume for a marketing thing, which actually was not my first major. It was like coding and all that stuff, which I did really good in, but no, that's kind of gay. Oh, excuse me.
Wait, how many years have you been like how many credits do you complete before you dropped or you're taking this gap year?
So I finished with 2 years in community, and then I did 1 semester full time student. So it'd be like 15. So I don't know. It'd be like
Like
what?
1.5 years left?
Yeah, I'd be 1.5 years yet left. But if I were
Oh.
to like drop back in, then it would be like I'll refresh, change the majors because marketing is like the answer if that makes sense. Because if I were to come back, I have a killer resume. So like not even just my personal accounts, right? I briefly mentioned it in other videos, but I also make TikToks for my parents' pizza store, and it has a few million views, right? Made them a few amounts of money. So, and when I did go to college, there's a bunch of marketing kids there. They're all dumb as shit. So it's kind of easy to compete with them, especially when you have a resume, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Is there a reason why you didn't where was like a mindset or did you ever have a mindset that's like, "Oh, I'm like upperclassman now. Fuck it, let me finish it and then like go maybe try YouTube."
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's crossed. I think everyone's mind when they drop out. It's well, if I only do this for 4 more years, now I can finally do what I want, right? But looking back now, this is something I never thought about. It's only now after I've grown up, barely. But it was like this idea of guilt and obligation. And I mentioned this recently today in like TikToks I recorded, just yapping. But with the TikToks I recorded, a big way to manipulate someone is to make them feel guilty under obligation. So a lot of people are obviously guilty and obligated to listen to what their parents have to say. Because I'm your mom, because I raised you, you have to do this for me, right? And that's the strongest level of guilt. Because I'm your girlfriend, because I'm your boyfriend, you should do this for me, I should do that for them. There's a lot of guilt and obligation. And it can happen not just in personal relationships, but in algorithms at larger scales. I don't know about you, Chold, but when you were in a relationship, would you get relationship videos and they tell you what you should be doing in a relationship and you feel like, oh, fuck, I should do this? Wait a second. My girl isn't doing that. And it's like this whole toxic thing that happens.
Yeah, it's like social media advice just telling you it just makes you question your own and puts like ideas in your head that like may make it like toxic or
Yeah.
just unrealistic in a way sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just all of this like guilt and obligation. And I think that also applies when it comes to colleges and jobs. And this is what I've always thought. It's like, what happens? So I think of the worst and I also think of the best. But like, what happens if someone I really fuck with dies, right? They die and I really want to attend their funeral. But I have this obligation for my job to go to that funeral, right? It's like, it's a thing not even for myself. It's for the person and to like show their appreciation for that person. But I'm so guilted into this thing, whatever it is, maybe a job, that I can't even do what I want. It's this idea of like freedom. I don't have the freedom to do what I want. And to me, back then I didn't know nothing. I just dropped out because like I looked at the signs, I tried to convince myself, I jumped, I did the big move. But now it's a good decision I made. Doesn't matter if I do or don't go back in. But as we started, I will succeed nonetheless, right? Like I'll succeed in school or I'll succeed in business. It's just a matter of like if and when. That's how I see it.
I see
Crazy?
that.
Am I crazy?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking too. I'm also unsure because I have not yet seen like people my size or anyone similar kind of doing something like that. And if they did, they're like kind of not that up there. No offense.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
offense
all
to
good.
people I know.
All good, bro.
But,
All good.
but like I'm actually thinking sometimes it's like some people aren't in school and then they do like YouTube or making music or something.
Yeah.
Like people that I know from like maybe high school. And then we're in 2025. I'm way past high school.
Yeah.
They're kind of like not really up there, and I'm doing it part time, or I'm not even like going all in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I have reached more success from them.
Chold,
That's not to brag, but it's
no,
more
no, no,
like
100%. I had a very similar mindset. So a little bit more context, right? Like back in high school, I made an account. I collabed with this YouTuber, million subscribers. He shouted me out. 300 subs, went to 5K. And I couldn't shut my mouth.
Ooh.
I told everyone. I told everyone. Everyone knew. And I was like, fuck faces. I wasn't even trying, right? And there's other people that were trying. And I think there's a problem. A lot of, at least for me as well. Like I got this ego. I don't know when. I don't really care. But past me had this ego about like I'm smart. I'm better than everyone else. I can do this, but I don't even put effort into it, right? I think with those people, it becomes a slippery slope where there's this idea or fear that what if I do try? I could accomplish so much more. But what if I do try and I accomplish the exact same amount? That would be the biggest defeat to my identity and who I am.
Yeah, I think I'm guilty of that because when people ask about like the YouTube stuff, I'm more like, oh, oh yeah, I'm just doing like it's something I do
Yeah.
on the side,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that, and they're
yeah.
like, whoa, it's impressive. But let's say I have nothing else going in my life and I'm
Yeah,
doing this full
yeah,
time,
yeah,
then it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I mean, this number's not that good. Like
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
definitely can't do that much with that.
Yeah, it's yeah, and I don't know. It's like at least for me, I used to be a big guy into fashion. I used to like spend money in fashion back in high school. And another thing, right, about like guilt and obligation, I don't feel guilty or obligated to feel like I need to be better than other people. That's why the reason why I asked you about like after leaving college was that after I left college, I was deep in it. I was deep into it. I was working myself to the bone. I was really I was like the McDonald's worker where when I was in college, I was locked in, full-time student. I was a STEM major for like coding and stuff. I was getting all A's. I got 1B in English. Every coding class was like a fuck easy ace. And not only that, I was also a professional tutor. So I had a job part-time, had a girlfriend, go to the gym. I also had to make my YouTube, like try to grow my YouTube as much as possible. And I was really forcing a lot of things. I was like working very hard. And like once I dropped out, I left myself from that college like community where I realized I don't really care about my grades, but because I was in that environment, I felt the need just based on my competitiveness to be better than other people. Oh, forgot. I even had an internship. So I was like, I had a job internship. And I was going to college and I was doing YouTube. So I was like, I only had those kind of things just to build up my resume. So when I did have a conversation with people, it was to impress them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking about impressing people, I I genuinely hate like networking in college.
Tell me about
It's
it.
just so random, but it's like,
Wait, tell me about it because networking with people in college is like networking to babies because no one has anything impressive.
well, it's or I guess it's more even with like talking to people in general because when you get into like maybe upperclassmen where you're trying to find an internship or something, when you do this, oh, what's your LinkedIn? It's like you don't actually care about like getting to know the
Right.
person. You just want that job opportunity or like a possible connection to have in the case that they do get a job or something. It just
Yeah.
feels so disingenuous compared to
Oh,
maybe just if you have the same class with someone, then you say hi, homework, let's study together. That's different. But when you're in these networking events where it's like, let me get your LinkedIn, look at my resume, are there any job openings? That's when it's like, bruh, you're just trying to like get a job. Like you don't
yeah.
want the human connection. It's
Chold,
just fake. It just feels fake.
I have to go to the bathroom. I'd love to continue the conversation of networking. You can talk to I don't know how many viewers I have right now, probably two. But I'll be right back. I gotta go take a piss. I'd love to continue the networking though. I'll be right back. You can talk to
Okay.
chat if you want.
What's good, chat? I see that there's 10 people watching. How do you guys enjoy live streams though? Like is it something you actually like tune into, or is it something that you guys just like listen to on the side while you're doing something else? I kind of want to know because in my opinion, Some live streams are not that not that fun for me because there's a lot of like filler before stuff goes on. You're riding a bike right now? The editing platform I use Sony Vegas Pro 14. It's a very old version, and then I use CapCut sometimes when it comes to like maybe uh, the subtitles, because since Sony Vegas 14 is so old, I have to use like other softwares for AI.
I'm back. Oh, that's crazy. People are actually chatting. Yeah, I never wash my hands, guys. I never wash my hands. It's like a big thing. Tap water is very bad for
What?
you. Um,
Oh, wait. Free ones. I think CapCut's like the way to go if you're going for strictly free. There are cracked versions, which you will have to look deep into and potentially risk like viruses, but
get
CapCut,
that
the free
virus.
version, it's like okay.
I would definitely recommend getting a virus. I downloaded Adobe
You're welcome.
illegally, and I realized that when I was a college student, it was free and available. But I would definitely take the risk, right? I'm a much more risk taking type of person. And by the way, our conversation about networking, I think, is very important because, at least for me, my perspective is a little different. Where I remember I went to this networking thing, right? So like we're kind of in the same area, like San Francisco, and there was this thing in San Francisco where I was like, I have no idea, but like Shark Tank people were going to be there, right? And it was in community college. It was like a club thing. It was like it was expensive tickets, but it's like a fake scarcity type of thing, and it was for free. I was like, okay, cool. It's a free thing. There's a girl that I'm tutoring. We're gonna go together. It's gonna be like a mini date, like all that kind of stuff. And it was shit when I went there. Like everyone's in suits, and it was like this whole networking thing, right? And at the time, I didn't really care about networking. I still don't with LinkedIn and everything. And I remember I was in this conversation with like these people, right? And people were trying to describe themselves in very big, nice, fancy words. Oh, I do a charity, generated X, Y, and Z. And they're like, oh, what's your LinkedIn? What's your LinkedIn? And what I always say, I didn't have a LinkedIn. And they immediately, yeah, like they don't give a shit about me anymore. They turn around immediately, go fuck this guy, all that kind of stuff. And someone says, okay, I'm gonna stop reading chat, but I'm gonna mention it. Someone says fumbled. I reject her. Okay, let's keep on going. What what
Oh,
did you, or like what's your perspective on networking, or at least now that you've graduated and you're kind of in the adult world?
I think I think as much as I hate it, it's something that I have to get used to, cuz there's like no other choice to do it kind of naturally,
Right?
unless maybe in the YouTube space or like content creator space. That one makes sense.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like networking where you just genuinely don't know each other, it's kind of hard to like know. Or maybe if I'm deep in like a career, then I could meet someone else like in the same field. Then that could be natural. But right now, where it's just kind of like looking for any job in general, it's very fake. People don't really care. People like walk away if you don't have a LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But like,
Troll. By the way, you like I think we have different perspectives again. Like you think it's fake. I think it's fake as well. But like my perspective's a little different where I don't find it worthwhile to network with these people. So like for example, right? Again, I keep on mentioning my cousin because he's just like someone close but so far away at the same time, and he's quite well off and he networks with a lot of people. So I don't remember, but there's like this big rave thing going on in Las Vegas, like one of the biggest raves ever. And he was staying at a very nice hotel and he was just walking around. And with him, how he networks, he just talks to people. He's a very talkative guy. He likes to know people. And he met one of the co-founders of this like giant rave, right? And, like that's it. And the reason why I mentioned that is because when you're a college student, it's kind of pointless, how I view it at least, to network with these people because they're just college students. They don't really have good connections. Of course, there is that possibility with anything where they could connect you with something, but with networking, I just really just talk to people that I find interesting, and if a relationship stems from it, that's great. I don't try to force things. That's how I view it.
okay, yeah. I mean, I think what how you're approaching it makes sense too, because it's like if I'm not interested, I'm not interested. But like people in that field are just more like, let me network because more is better. not like actually getting to know you. So in that way, it's like kind of similar anyway.
By the way, now that you're an adult, what's it like, right? Like navigating everything. You got your own car. You drive anywhere you want.
Um, it's kind of overrated, not gonna lie. I feel maybe you feel it too, but there's like a pressure always coming to you, feeling like,
Okay.
damn, I'm an adult now. Like no more excuses to kind of like get stuff done.
Really?
Like I get that a lot.
Is that
Like that feeling a
something
lot.
your friends face as well?
Yes, but not as hard because they're still in school. But once you get out of school, it's like you don't really have your own schedule.
Right.
You don't have like classes. You don't have anything to like a structure there.
Yeah.
So when you're out of it, it's like you're really responsible for everything you do every single day. So yeah, I kind of miss school in that way.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah. You know, you
Like
actually
there are
mentioned
things I hate, love,
that's a
but
very good point.
yeah.
Actually, few things, right? Very good point about having your own structure. I didn't even think about it, but because I've been so deep, I guess one semester deep in, but I've been so deep outside of school that I love it because my perspective on everything has completely changed. I completely forget dates. I thought today was a Monday, and yesterday I thought it was a Thursday, right? But it's the weekend right now. But to me, every day is a weekend. I have complete flexibility in what I want to do, where I booked a cruise on October 19th, but I would be in school, and all like there's so many like problems, and the second thing is, what did you hate so much about school?
It was just I think a lot of people think this, but it's just sometimes it's stuff that you're not really that interested in, but you feel obligated to pursue it. For me, I didn't like necessarily hate it. I was just kind of like there's better things I could do,
Yeah,
and I still just went with it because of like kind of like similar with the parents thing and like kind of owing them, but yeah, it's not something I hate for sure. It's just like that's something I guess I didn't like. So, it's very okay. I had a very okay experience, I'd say.
okay.
That might change though if you're the ones, paying hella money for tuition, moving out, having bad roommates or something.
Yeah.
Then it might be worse. But for me, I was like a commuter anyway, so
Yeah.
that not that much money was like put into it to the point where I'm like every dollar counts.
By the way, Troll, if you talk to other kids who are being paid by their parents' tuition, or speaking of guilt and obligation, do you notice that they care that they're using so much of the parents' money, or is there no guilt?
Ooh, I feel like there's maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's less guilt for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like a trend of like them being maybe more spoiled, but like I've seen people that are like their parents pay for everything and they still like fail their classes. I feel like if your parents pay for your stuff,
Yeah.
like you have to at least for the semester.
Yeah.
They pay for your semester, right?
Yeah.
At least pass it, or else
Yeah.
if you get 0 credits, nothing. They just paid and you got 0 credits out of it.
Yeah, it's weird,
So-
dude. Those people are dumb as shit, Chold. I'm not going to lie, because it's like this weird game. It's like this weird game where you can't be guilty, you don't want to feel obligation. But with those people, there's no understanding of the world, where they don't understand where the money's coming from. They don't understand why they're at school. They're just doing things that they're told to be done, and they do it half-assed as well.
It's different. I think at that point you might as well like try a gap semester if you're not that interested, because
Right.
it's just money down the drain, and you're wasting your time by maybe like going to half the classes and then getting an F. You have to retake that whole course anyway. So
Yeah, and is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, Chold?
not really. Were you supposed to have another guest on?
No. Honestly, I'm completely out of ideas with what to talk about. I mean, we could. I'm a very talkative person. We could push this till 3 hours, 4, 6, 12. But I'm more concerned about your time. You said you were like available from 5 to 7, if I'm not mistaken. It's like 7:16
Yeah,
right now.
I would normally be eating dinner right now. It's not like
Yeah.
important like that, but like
Yeah.
If there's nothing else, that's fine. What I gotta say though is
Yeah.
I I can see why you do not have to like script out your videos, because you're good with like talking about this. I feel like I would definitely need help with that. Maybe that's a skill I need to get over time, but
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
I mean, like, I'm telling you, bro, I'm autistic as fuck, right? And I say it in a very cool, demeaning, excuse me, not demeaning, in a very awesome way where it's like, I'm something I'm proud of. I'm probably not autistic, but you know, the reason why I mentioned this was because back in high school, I thought about it for a very long time. I was thinking, how could I become the most powerful person in the world? What do I need to do? And I was looking at like presidents and how do people become presidents? Obviously, people look at it in a very pessimistic way where it's connections, you need connections, all that kind of stuff. But I think what's more fundamental is your ability to articulate your words. That's what I thought, right? So literally, I just looked up tongue twisters online and I would spam them every single day. So I could whip out like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and I just go crazy with it. And I noticed I got very good at enunciating words and not stuttering at all. That I realized it made me stand out a little bit too much than what I would have wanted. So I actually throw in stutters, and now it's like perfectly aligned, believe it or not.
Oh, so it's more natural. So it feels more natural, but you're
yeah.
forcing the naturalness.
Well, it's not, well, now that there you go, right? Now that I just naturally or used to forcing the stutter and naturally, dude, it's so stupid. I wish I didn't throw in fake stutters, but I got fake stutters now, which is now real stutters, if that makes sense.
Did you ever like do any presentations in like a big group setting?
No. Like, so believe it or not, my ability to like talk is just straight from YouTube. I've like, in high school, I would do presentations. I would fucking kill it. But like for the longest time, it was just, I was never good at it, if that makes sense. And then I remember when I did go to college, there's like clubs I would join, and they would get you to go in front of like this large crowd. I vividly remember first time I finally transferred to my university, and there's this club. They said, "Oh, we'll give you a prize, a financial prize. We'll give you money if you go to this crowd and like do whatever you got to do." It's like yap your ass off, and I was like, "Oh, it's me, please pick me." And they picked me. I went up, and then you competed with other people in front of the crowd, and I killed it, to say the least.
Wait,
but I was
about what? Just talking?
no, it was a mock interview, right? So they had people
okay.
from Apple, Amazon, and like some consulting firm. They were the hiring managers there, and they would do a mock interview in front of you. And they would ask me questions about like, you know, generic questions, right? And there was like tiers. So the first person who goes up, they get the easy questions. Second person that goes up, which is me, they get the medium questions. Third person, hard one. And then it'll be like a game where vote yes if you think the person should go to the next round. And everyone's nice. Everyone lets everyone go through. And there's like a final test where everyone competes against each other via how they perform. And I did the best, and I got a $5 gift card. So, yeah, there's that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
From where?
Target. Someone says, "Wow."
Target's pretty good. Target's pretty good.
Yeah, dude. I remember I won another gift card, and I bought like a jump rope with it. So, yeah. Nothing too crazy, if that makes sense.
Oh, I'm reading from the chat.
Yeah.
You learn from YouTube just by speaking to the camera. It's just kind of natural.
Are you talking?
I think to Jackson.
Yeah. How did you learn from YouTube? I didn't learn from YouTube. It was yeah, we can keep on talking, Joel. It's like cut me off whenever you gotta go eat food with your family. But I'm enjoying.
I'll make it 7:30.
Yeah, cool.
Oh,
9 more minutes.
Yeah, I'll with you.
I think a lot of people force too many things on their life where they see someone do well with girls, so they try to force the exact same charisma, exaggerated swagger of a black young man, and it just never works because they're not that, right? And I, at least from what I understood with enunciation and talking, I never tried to emulate anyone else because everyone has their own vocabulary and diction and how they pronounce things. And that's your benefit, right? People love and glaze a British accent. People will love different accents. And that's just who they are. You don't try to change it. And I think that's just how it works. Just make sure you know what to talk about It's just practice. That's how I view it.
Yeah. I also noticed there's like a a weird benefit in speaking dumb, not dumb in the way of like uh saying dumb stuff, but like talking without using high vocabulary
Yeah,
because it makes it easy for a person to understand. So whenever you use like more complex words, you just try to avoid that, which is really weird to say.
I agree.
Like maybe in writing it's better to have, but when you talk, like nobody's gonna use the super complex words when they speak, for
Yeah.
the most part.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think like you should talk in like an eighth grade level
I
or
agree.
write in
It's
an eighth grade level.
Yeah, believe it or not, 50% of Americans can't even read past the sixth grade level, right? I think the idea of using big words, vocabulary, diction, they mean the exact same thing. I could use the word diction to make myself sound more intelligent, which sometimes I do, but it's like the idea of learning context clues, right? If you give enough context clues in the words that you're saying, you can use big words to sound intelligent, but you don't want to leave people out. A president doing a candidate speech is never going to use perplexity ever. And that's not even a crazy word, right? But they're not going to use it because it's going to literally cut off 50% of the people listening. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
In scripting a video, should you use more of the eighth grade level or essay version? Okay, so if people don't know, Jackson is actively in chat saying he wants to try to do YouTube. What do you think about his question, Chold?
Eighth grade level or the essay version? Definitely depends on the topic, but for the most part, if you're doing like commentary style, definitely eighth grade. If you're just like yapping, unless you're doing something more where you think your viewers are actually like a higher age and more intelligent, then stick with eighth grade because that way everybody understands. You're trying to open your audience up to the most people that will enjoy your content.
Yeah, and I think even more practical advice, just copy someone, right? I think people immediately off the jump, when they have some endeavor or passion they want to get into, it's immediately, I'm going to be different. How can I be different? So I'm going to do everything the exact opposite way. Like Rambo content, I can't lie. Just copy me then, right? And then after some time, you'll realize there's a few things I'm not good at compared to Rambo or Chold. There's a few things I'm better at, and then you start leaning towards the things you're naturally better at. That applies to reading, writing, fighting. It applies to everything in life. You just copy someone, and then you alternate with what you're good at and abandon what you find useless. That's how I develop my skills, at least.
Yeah, I agree. Like, especially with the topics in like the commentary space, a lot of them are recycled and used. Like, if you search up just any one of your videos, you're gonna find a similar person that made that exact video, maybe saying the same thing, but if you add your personality to it, add your perspective, like, it's there. I guess my point is just saying, like, you're bound to like quote unquote copy. It's not gonna be original, but if you put your own like twist to it, that's where you kind of stand out. Yeah.
And by the way, Chold, would you want to, by the way, we're not like that close, but I know we live close to each other. So like this is a real connection. That's how I view things. Would you ever, all right? So I'm talking to my friend. He goes to UCLA and he doesn't do content. He's always been an inspiring YouTuber. And during spring break, I don't know when that is, by the way. I have no idea when spring break is, but he's trying, and me, of course, is trying to go on a cruise where we record a video. And by the way, would you be down to come? A light invitation, no pressure, anything.
The October one or another?
No.
You're going to another cruise?
I don't know, maybe. Dude, I'll be honest, cruises are so goddamn cheap. It's kind of, to me, it's something that I don't believe will last for a long time in the context of, once the cruises get smart and realize, okay, I don't think I need to charge $50 a day. I think they're going to bump up the price. I'm just going to spam it. Because I'll be honest, Trolled, I went on a cruise. I had so much fun. I could spam it every other week. Truthfully, it was that much fun. Dude, I could eat as much food as I want. I get unlimited content because there's so many things that happen. It's like, it was great. But yeah, you're invited, Chold, if you ever want to come on a cruise during spring break. I think that's something me and my friend is planning to do. And
yeah, I mean, I'll consider it, but if that happens, I think we definitely gotta like hang out in person.
Sure.
Like not like
No, you're good.
automatically
You're
like
good. You're
random.
good,
You're inviting an online person straight to vacation
dude.
or like a multiple day vacation. I think like I'm
No,
definitely open
dude.
to it though.
No,
But
if anything, if you're more comfortable, invite a friend. I'm sure you got one dude that's down to go on a spring break, and we don't even have to interact if we don't fuck with each other, like for real, right? But it's actually
that's
for
just
me,
weird though.
is it?
I feel like yeah.
Go ahead.
That's why we got to like
Yeah,
see
yeah,
how
yeah.
close we are first.
You know what's funny,
Before.
Chol? When I went to San Francisco, right? With that girl, I've only tutored her. We never hung out. We never did anything. And even crazier, it was like we could go on the bus and go with this entire group. I'm like, fuck that. Let's make it personal. But at the same time, I was like, I don't like driving. Let's be real. I don't like driving, so I don't want to drive to San Fran. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, let me invite my friends." So I was literally in a car during San Francisco with a bunch of random people. So maybe my perspective's a little different. I'm always open to put myself in like weird positions because when I was in San Francisco, I was with this girl that I barely know, but like there's like kind of attraction there or romanticism, and then there's another random girl I don't fucking know, an illegal immigrant, and then we got some random white guy, and we got some other random white guy, and I'm stuck in this car in a place that I'm not that comfortable with. So that's like that could be a little bit of my autism showing through.
No, that's normal. I don't know. I'm not the type to be like,
No, you're
I'll
good.
go on like a multiple day thing with that. But yeah,
No, you're right. You're right. I
on
agree.
that level
Yeah,
is
no,
for
I
sure
agree. I
fine,
agree.
I feel like.
Yeah. All cool.
But yeah, okay. It's like 7:20. I want to thank you for inviting
course.
me to your live, and
Of course.
thank you to the chat watching. W's in the chat. I don't know what they say. On live.
Nah. I have to think of a name. I can't call them chat because it's not personal. I'm thinking like Ramboner, Ramballs.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
right.
think Ramboner's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
I
Ramboner's
don't know
pretty
what to
nice.
call my audience either. You know my
Trollsters?
username is
What?
is specifically sounding like. Do you know what it sounds like?
The Genshin character, child, or troll?
No. It sounds like a chode, and a chode is like a
Oh.
short and girthy.
Oh
thing.
yeah, dude. You should call them that. You
Yeah.
should call them like Toadsters or some shit.
But my username is based off that. It's supposed to sound like that.
Oh really?
So I'm gonna call
I never knew
myself.
that.
I'm gonna call the viewers myself.
Yeah. It's like, what's up, Toadsters? That's like way better than Jake Paulers. I don't know. Ramboners,
girthy chode.
Ramboers, Chodesters.
Girthy chode or something.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I'll see. I might have someone then vote on it. On like
Yeah.
a post I have.
Make it a community thing. It's even more fun like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you again. Thank
All
you
right.
for inviting me. And
Of course.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for coming, Chold. I hope
Okay.
you have a good dinner and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. Good
Of
night.
course. Peace out, bro.